Well, hey kids, Rio here. Welcome back to the channel. Today is Wednesday, so today is the next in my series of film reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at a little something called Destroy All Neighbors. So as the title suggests, this film is set in an apartment building. You ever lived in an apartment building? Yeah, so have I. Okay, so our story focuses on our man William, who is played by Jonah Ray. You might know Jonah Ray as one of the most recent faces of Mystery Science Theater 3000. Yeah, him. Actually also appeared in Weird, the Al Yankovic story. God, I love that movie. I digress. So William is a prog rock musician who's decades too late to be a prog rock musician. You know anything about prog rock? I'm a big fan of prog myself, but you know, prog pretty much disappeared with any social relevance probably about a good 20-some years ago.
I've been trying to finish this album for 3 years.
Meanwhile, we of course have his long-suffering girlfriend Emily, who is just kind of like, can you just get a job, please? But now he does have a job. He works at a sound studio. Helps to record music for other musicians, right? With an employer who is way too busy simping for their patrons than to actually support his dude.
The way I listen to your music is if you tie me up at gunpoint and you forced me to.
And don't play it here, Denry, you're fired.
And this is kind of where we come in. Just the complete frustration of this poor guy's life. If he so desperately wants this to happen for himself, and it's just not getting anywhere. Hey, we've all known a frustrated musician in our lives. Some of us are a frustrated musician in our lives. So, you know, we get it. Now, where things start going completely wrong for this poor guy is they have a new neighbor that moves in. And the new neighbor is called Vlad. Russian accent, sounds like. And Vlad is just loud and obnoxious and banging and carrying on and all this kind of stuff. And it's just that kind of neighbor. That neighbor you just don't want around.
What is up with this guy?
So, William and Vlad, not friends, don't get along. Things continue to escalate. Yeah, William kills him. Oops. So now he's got a dead body to deal with. And this is only the beginning of just how this guy's life becomes from that point forward.
So you killed somebody. Relax. Just need to know how to get rid of a body.
First of all, allow me to please point out, this is a comedy. This is a black comedy, and it's hilarious. It just gets weirder with each passing minute. It's fucking amazing.
William, use your demons. Don't let them use you.
The film was directed by Josh Forbes. He's done a lot of like music videos, short films. Notably, he's listed as being additional crew. I don't know what that means. On Kung Pao, Legend of the Fist. Okay, so he's our director on this film. We have 3 writers. And when I explain to you who these writers are, a lot about this film is going to suddenly make sense to you. Okay? We have Mike Benner, who is writer on Bob's Burgers. We have Jared Logan, who was a writer for James Corden on The Late Late Show. And we have Charles A. Piper, I'm hoping that's right, Piper, who was an animator and has also done a bunch of shorts and music videos as well. So we have these 3 writers who obviously no comedy. And our director of photography is named Will Stone. He does have a few, credits on his thing, but they're not things I'm familiar with. The one thing I found of note was a film called Candyland, which is not, the title, it's not about a board game. It actually seems to be a very serious film, talking about basically showing a girl's descent into prostitution. So it's obviously a very, very serious subject matter. So this is a comedy. So I think the rules applied because he shot really well. Like a lot of the way he used photography here was good, was solid. You saw exactly what you needed to see and nothing that you didn't.
Loser and you're gonna die, loser.
Now we start talking about special effects. Ooh, this is a special effects heavy film, kids. Very special effects heavy film. And it's good stuff, you guys. There's a number of people that are listed. I'm just going to call a couple names out because it looked like there was a very large crew that worked on this. But there's a couple of names of note so that you have that to base your ideas on, okay? We have Bill Corso, who did special effects work on all the Deadpool movies, including the new one. He also worked on Bill and Ted's Face the Music and Studio 666, which I've yet to see, but God, it looks so good. So he was the effects artist on those films, so you know what you're dealing with there. Now, all of our stuff was actually designed, though, by Gabriel Bartolos. Now, I don't know if you know that name, but you would have seen his work. He worked in the 98 Godzilla. He worked on Army of the Dead. He worked on, like, some of the later Leprechaun movies. So, he was a designer of a lot of your prosthetics and effects. It's all practical, you guys. There is a bit of CGI assist, like blood splatter stuff, that kind of thing. But it's all practical for the most part. The things you actually see are real. And so there was this Gabriel Bartolos who actually designed everything. But then a huge team, including Bill Corso, are the ones who actually applied. This is a very special effects heavy film, and it's good, you guys. It's ridiculous, it's gross, it's a great line for being a black comedy. It's just gross enough that you're like, oh man, but it's not so gross that you can't laugh. So, I think that balance was perfectly maintained. And a completely random note, is the opening sequence of the film is animated. Right, just like your opening credits, right, is animated. And it's actually being animated by Rich Sim, who worked on The Nightmare Before Christmas. So, there's that.
It's time to make a hit record.
Now we're going to talk about the score. And as you can guess, because this film, the big joke of this whole film, is this dude who's way too obsessed with prog rock. They're going to have a prog rock-esque type score, right? Maintain the aesthetic. Well, it does, because you hear the music that, you know, he's writing, right? And then a lot of other stuff. Like, it basically is a prog rock thing through the whole thing. It's almost like a prog rock opera. Like, there's a lot of that. Like, the music is solid. Totally keeps the theme. And there's a reason for that. So, when I looked up the score, there were two names I saw listed on the score. Brett Morris and another guy named Ryan Katner. Now, I don't know if you would know the name Ryan Katner, but you might know the name Honest. Yeah. That's who it is. And he's on it, dude. I actually made my partner look up some of his stuff from Man Man, and what's the name of the other one? Mr. Heavenly. It's the super group he was in. I made my partner look up Man Man and Mr. Heavenly, and now he's got a new fan. So Ryan, you're welcome. I got you a new fan. But he's the one who composes the whole score, and apropos of nothing, he also appears in the film as a musician. It's really quite funny. He is one of the absolutely unbearable patrons at the sound studio. Going by the name Caleb Bag Jansen. You gotta say the whole thing, by the way. Caleb Bag Jansen. You can't say it in parts or wholes. You have to, no, Mr. Caleb Bag Jansen. You gotta say the whole thing. Yeah, just the beginning of how annoying his character is. So it's great. It's great. This guy's all over the movie. And it makes sense. Okay, so speaking of understanding the assignment, let's talk about the cast on this. I've already mentioned, of course, Jonah Ray, who's playing William, who's playing our main character. And then you have his girlfriend, Emily, who is, Kieran Dial. Boy, I hope I pronounced that right. She was actually, some of you might recognize her from the series Sunnyside. And there's also some guy called Alex Winter. He's also a producer on the film as well, FYI. As Alex Winter is in the movie, and he's in it as two different characters, and you might not recognize him in one of them. Look for the eyes there, what give him away. But let's just kind of go randomly through these, okay? Give you an idea of the people that you're going to be looking at in this film, okay? So we have the guy that runs the studio, which is the character Scott. It's played by Thomas Lennon. Reno 911? Yeah, okay. Was also with the state a while ago. We have in his apartment building now, we have the landlord, the apartment manager, okay, Eleanor. Great character, by the way, I love her. She is played by Randy Heller. Might from know her from Mad Men, the series Mad Men. And then every neighbor that's really weird. So we have the one neighbor, Alec, okay? It's Pete Kosick. Trying to kill me here. Pete Kosick was in Captain Marvel. He also was the body of Leonardo in the most recent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, voiced by Johnny Knoxville, but he actually played Leonardo in the device, so I guess stunt work. Nice. So you have him. And then you have the Pig Man. You have a dude in your apartment building that has a support pig, an emotional support pig that keeps getting loose. Apparently, it doesn't want to be there either. It's a great character. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Demorge Brown was from the Upright Citizens Brigade and the Groundlings. And we have two kind of fun cameos outside of the apartment building. You need to look for these. You want to look for Camille Naranjani from Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, you want to look for him. Who's also in Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I know my Ghostbusters. Yeah, he was in that as well. You look for him. It's a cameo he does. And there's another cameo character that's kind of a regular character that keeps popping up. It's a character called Swig. Swig is part of these video tutorials that our prog guy keeps looking at. So he pops up pretty regularly. He is actually played by John Daly. Not that John Daly. John Daly, he was in Zoolander 2. And also starred in The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which is actually a really wholesome movie. I love that movie if you've ever seen it.
You're crazy.
You're headed into chaos.
What?
Blood will be spilled. You gotta stand on your own 2 feet and say, "Get out of my kitchen, 'cause I'm cooking."
I do want to call out one particular character in a little more detail, though. Only because there's a fascinating bit of trivia I found out about this person when I was doing my research. So there's a homeless guy. It's hanging around outside the music studio. Calls William the croissant guy because he gave him a croissant once, like a month ago, and so now he expects croissants every time he sees the guy. It's a hilarious little bit of, just BS comedy. So our character is actually played by an actor named Christian Calloway. He's actually been in a million things as the same character. Let me explain, because when I looked this up, I thought this was really quite fascinating. So basically, this guy used to be a stuntman, cowboy movies, all this kind of stuff, right? And somewhere along the way, he developed this Hollywood homeless character. It originally appeared in a music video, I believe. Yeah, it was a music video where he was portraying a homeless man in a System of a Down video. And people just kind of glommed to his character. So he now makes his living as this character. He plays this character in music videos, movies. And here's the interesting part. He actually uses this as a form of charitable theater. He goes out with signs. Like you see the people with the signs, right? The homeless, please help, whatever. But he does it for homeless charities. So he stands outside with their name on the thing with a bucket and gives them everything he makes. He gives them a good percentage of what he makes playing this character in films and videos and stuff. I had no idea. We've all probably seen him as this character a zillion times. We've all seen this Hollywood homeless. We've probably seen this guy a million times in different things and not made the connection. He donates a lot of his salary to homeless shelters and missions and actively goes out and does charitable theater to raise money for them.
Now that was rock and roll.
I love a dark comedy. And just looking at the pedigree of the actors and comedians and the writers, the people that worked on this. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if this counts as an independent film, but if you haven't seen it, find it. Just find it. It is the funniest thing in the world. It is so tongue-in-cheek. It is so bizarre. Worth every minute. And it's not that long, by the way. I think it's less than 90 minutes. So it won't even take that much of your time to watch this thing. Just trust me on this one. Get a bunch of your friends together and just do it. It's funny as hell, dude. Right? Watch it in a group. I say watch it in a group so y'all can just laugh your asses off. And feel free to pause and get good looks at things, because they don't skimp on the details at all.
Shut up! You didn't hear that, did you?
You yelling shut up at nobody? Yeah, I heard it was very loud.
Rating system. Well, okay. Y'all know I don't like to give perfect scores, but I'm gonna sit on a 4 for this one. Absolutely worth watching. Absolutely entertaining. Absolutely freaking hilarious. And I said, if nothing else, watch it for Christian Holloway, dude. Watch it for him. If nothing else, just watch it for him. Because this guy's doing good work, you know. So let's pay that back a little bit. Okay, so I guess that is it for me for this week. There's a subscribe button over here someplace. You can go ahead and hit that. You'll get notifications when my new shit goes up. And whatever I end up doing on this channel, because, well, you never know. All right, kids. Well, I guess I will see you all next week, and peace out.